Whether or not you decide to have kids, you are a parent. Why? Let me explain. Because you're responsible for reparenting your own inner child. You must reparent the kid inside of you, or else you'll fuck your life up. And I'm speaking from experience. Because until you take the time to connect with, to heal, and reparent that little kid inside you, you'll be destined to repeat the same patterns that you experienced growing up. I don't know about you, but that wasn't a fucking option for me. So you got to heal what hurt you so you don't bleed on those that didn't cut you for the rest of your life. And most adults, unfortunately, are still little kids just in an adult body. They react to stress like children do. They have emotional outbursts like children do. They make decisions based on childhood wounds that they never healed. And then they wonder why they keep repeating the same destructive patterns, the same relationship dynamics, the same financial struggles, the same self-sabotage. If you're hearing what I'm saying, let me know. And it's all because this wounded inner child is still running the show, and nobody's taken the time to heal them because you haven't. It's your responsibility. Hey family, welcome back. Or if you're new here, I'm Chris. I made $1 million in my business by the time I was 25, and now I'm documenting my journey to earning $1 million per year doing what I love, manifesting my dream life, as well as becoming my highest self so you can do the same. So if you're ready to start winning at the level you know you're capable of, be sure to subscribe, and welcome to the family. Now, I want to share why this is top of mind for me right now, because I recently became a father for the first time to a beautiful little boy. I'm so stoked. So amazing. And it's been incredible. More than I could ever try to put into words in this video. But in that process, it's caused me to reflect on and reconnect to my own childhood. Growing up, things were chaotic as fuck. Maybe you can relate. I experienced and witnessed things that I don't think any kid should have, and it totally fucked me up for most of my life, up until now. From age 3 to 23, I dealt with abuse, traumatic experiences, and mistreatment that deeply affected my self-confidence and self-worth. I witnessed and experienced mental, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. I was around a lot of substance abuse and drug use as a kid. And in fact, by the time I was 12, I was already using drugs. And before that, at the age of 7, I was already addicted to pornography. So it's crazy shit. I watched my mom get her face almost beat in by her ex-husband. I've looked people in the face who have done awful things, terrible things, like beat, rape, and even kill people and children. It's awful. And I don't share this to have like a big dick contest with you about whose life is harder, but to let you know that whatever it is that you've been through or that you're going through, I understand. I can only take you as deep as I've gone myself, and I've gone fucking deep. And it's safe to say that I got to experience the dark reality of generational curses playing out. And again, maybe you can relate to all this or some of this irrelevant, but for years, maybe like you, I carried that trauma and that pain without realizing it. It was controlling my decisions, it shaped my relationships, and it completely molded my behavior. And then through those experiences, my identity and my self-image, or in other words, how I saw myself, was also formed. And now, as a new father, I'm fucking committed to breaking the cycle and not repeating those generational patterns that have harmed my family. But whether or not that you currently have children or not, or maybe you might, or maybe you don't, it doesn't matter. I realize something that's very important with you that I want to share. Whether or not you plan to have kids, we all have one very important job on this earth: to leave things better than we found them. And there's no better or more important area to do this than in our own bloodline, for our own families, and of course, for ourselves, not even counting if we decide to have children for them. So I want to talk about this concept of the inner child, because here's what most people don't understand. The kid in you never leaves. You don't just outgrow them. In fact, that little version of yourself that experienced the pain that you went through, the neglect, the trauma, they're still inside of you, and they're still running the show. And if you haven't taken time to heal them, they're making decisions for you in your adult life. So think about it, right? When you overreact to criticism, that's your inner child who may have felt unworthy speaking up and letting you know they're hurting. When you sabotage good relationships, that's your inner child who learned love isn't safe acting out, or that maybe they're not worthy of love acting out. When you can't manage your money, that's your inner child who internalized that scarcity and chaos you grew up with. And when you struggle to set boundaries with people, that's your inner child who learned that their needs didn't matter, or that people would just cross their boundaries. Most of your adult problems are actually unhealed childhood wounds showing up in different forms. And until we take the time to connect with, to acknowledge, and reparent that inner child, we will continue to repeat those same patterns. We have to break the generational cycle. It's up to us. And here's the part that I think most people miss. Healing your inner child doesn't just help you. It creates a ripple effect that's incalculable. Like, it's that drop in the bucket that creates a tidal wave. All future generations are benefited by it. The past generations are healed through it. And obviously it transforms you personally, which is super important. When you break the cycle in and for yourself, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the trajectory of your entire family line. The abuse stops with you. The dysfunction stops with you. The generational trauma stops with you. And that's fucking powerful. Like, you have real power to change, at the very least, your bloodline, if not the world. But it requires you to do the work that's super uncomfortable, and because of that most people avoid. And by the way, if you're ready to do this identity work, this healing work, even deeper, you can check out my free community below for free resources, or you can consider working with me in my premium higher self community, where I help people like yourself heal, transform, and consistently produce $10,000 to $100,000 per month in their business, all for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day. Cheers, check it out. So let's talk about what you can do this week to really drive home what I'm talking about. You're gonna take 5 minutes and you're gonna write a letter to that little kid version of you. Not in your head, I mean grab a pen and paper and write that shit down. Tell them, that little kid version of you, what they needed to hear back then. Something like, look, you were enough even when they made you feel like you weren't. What happened to you wasn't your fault. You deserve better, and I'm so sorry you had to go through all of that. I see you, I acknowledge your pain, and I'm here now to take care of you, to protect you, and to love you. Remind that little kid in you that you're still here, you survived, you made it, that what they went through wasn't for nothing. And then tell them what you're committed to doing differently. Look, I won't repeat those past patterns that hurt us. I'll create the safety for us that we never had. I'll give us the love and acceptance that we deserved all along. I will do everything in my power to make sure the experiences you had, that little kid version of me, or you, weren't for nothing. And that in the end, it was all more than worth it. And you'll be surprised how healing this simple exercise will be and what emotions may come up. I had a client do this recently. He cried. And maybe you. Some of you might cry. Some of you might feel anger. Some of you are definitely going to feel relief. Whatever comes up is valid and it needs to be felt and acknowledged. Just trust the process. And I want to talk as well as reparenting your inner child, because it's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing practice. And it looks like, giving yourself compassion that you never received in the past. Setting boundaries you were never taught to have back then. Speaking to yourself the way that you wish adults had spoken to you in the past. Meeting your own needs instead of seeking validation from other people constantly. Breaking those annoying-ass patterns instead of perpetuating them and continuing them in your bloodline. It means being the parent to yourself that you needed but probably didn't have if you're like me. And that's not to blame anyone, it's not to hold grudges, but to take responsibility for your own life and your own healing. I love my parents to death. I'm so grateful for everything they did for me because they made me who I am. And now I get to take the baton and carry it forward. And I want to echo that to you. Nobody can do this work for you. You have to do it. And when you do it, your future self and future generations will thank you. I promise you, I've experienced it myself. Breaking the cycle starts with acknowledging and connecting with that wounded inner child and then committing to healing them. Write that letter. Feel those uncomfortable ass feelings, do the hard work, because you deserve to live free from all of those patterns and all that bullshit that was put on you that was never yours to carry in the first place. Be sure to comment down below any of your takeaways, subscribe if you found this video valuable. And again, by the way, you can join my free community in the description. I help people with identity shifting, healing, and transformation so they can build their business. Or if you're an entrepreneur, creator, or salesperson, and you want to work with me personally, I help you to work on your shadows, heal your trauma, and scale your business to consistent $10,000 to $100,000 months, all for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day. Pretty cool. Links are in the description. I love you guys. Write that letter to your inner child. Break the fucking cycle. Heal what hurt you so you don't bleed on those that didn't cut you. All right, family, much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.